How to become a senior developer from a junior or a midweight. My name is Isaac, previous CTO of a funded startup, and I run the checkout team at Pretty Little Thing. I think there's a lot of information out there, and I also think it's a little bit more confusing than it's worth. The thing is actually kind of simple, it does just take time. The default approach, which is a guarantee, is you just run your time in the field, right? You work for 6+ years, and every 2 years you switch to a new job role with a little bit more seniority and responsibility. You then use that for the next job that you go to 2 years later and justify why they're going to pay you more and give you a more senior role at that place. And as long as you're genuinely learning at each place you work, there's no reason this wouldn't happen. But this video is assuming that you want to do it a little bit faster. What I'm discussing is what I found personally helping me and how you can accelerate the process, or at least guarantee that you are getting what you need from each job to then justify the job raise in the next. The 3 things that I think are most important and what I've used in the past for trying to get promotion is team communication, breadth of understanding, and the development and reinforcement of systems. And I actually put them in this order because I think they feed into each other. Team communication. I actually have a video on this somewhere which basically goes over soft skills and being able to unblock yourself within a team by knowing who's there. But I'm going to recap. It's basically knowing who you can go to and what value each person has. So at this stage, it's not like trying to get the most out of people. It's kind of just understanding who can unblock you and who you can help. If you're a front-end dev and the designs going to be coming through, they're a little bit ambiguous, there's confusing things, or you might like submit tickets and they come back and say, oh, you know, this error state isn't handled properly, but they weren't really designed for it. You can start knowing these things before they even happen. Even if you're halfway through the development, you send them a little video of what you're doing and it's like, hey, is this going to be cool for the design? Being able to do these things beforehand actually help you a lot. It's being more than the source of your parts. It's being able to rely on people and to get work done faster because you know directly who to go to. And it goes both ways. If people from different departments end up relying on you, you become the go-to person. You stay in the loop and your opinions are more considered. If you're working with back-end devs, can you speak to them about why the system isn't doing what you expect? Has the API changed? Why does it keep changing? Am I doing this wrong? Like, being able to know who to speak to and to get instant feedback unblocks you, makes you do your work faster, and you become more in the know because you have direct contact with people in these areas. The second thing is breadth of understanding. So this skill is similar to communication, or rather communication is one of the ways that you build this skill. Most people will understand the area because it's their job and you should. Breadth of understanding is, can you expand that to other people's areas? So like, can you start understanding some of the more intricate things behind design? Let's say like an error state is missing from a design. It takes a breadth of understanding of design to even know and predict that this is something that should be there. And the more things you learn, the earlier you can predict things and counteract them before they even happen. In development, we work a lot in separate teams, or even if you've got like microservices and things to split out, the more you understand of the different areas, the easier it is for you to interact and just prevent things from happening. When I first started at PLT, my whole goal was literally just to learn other systems. So we had a microservice architecture split up, so you'd be working with one team and then there'd be different teams doing different areas. And I used to ask management, I was like, oh, can I take tickets from different areas, just because I wanted to learn what they were doing. They didn't really let me do that because there were so many tickets that we had to do, but they appreciated it and started putting me on tickets that combined the 2 areas. So if there's ever any interaction issues, or you know, the API from our system isn't working with theirs, they'd start putting me on those tickets so I could understand the bridge between the two. The first point really is being able to gather information, and the second part is being able to holistically hold it all in your head and understanding a broader picture of the system. This second part might sound a little bit redundant because it's just you learning, but I promise you management will actually notice. Because even just in stand-ups or conversations when people are talking about architecture, your opinions are so much more informed. You can tell the difference between someone that actually understands multiple systems and someone that just knows the area. It's completely different, and I promise you it will be noticed. And then the third one, which is kind of like the layer on top and really the most senior skill, but you need these precursor things to be there, is the development and reinforcement of systems. The most senior thing you can do isn't necessarily even to do great code or know all the systems. It's to be able to refine the work process. I talk a lot about this on the channel, but constraints are a really big part of system creation. It becomes bigger than the actual code itself. It's actually like the work process. You have pipelines that help automate things. Every time we have like a deployment issue, there are ways that we could avoid that. Even when the work comes from developers, you know, when we estimate all the sprint points, are there things that developers should be doing? Is there like a pre-meeting we could take beforehand to align all the developers so they can do that better? I wouldn't necessarily say it's thinking outside the box, but it is thinking more like an owner. Instead of thinking we get the work and we have to work on it, it's like, okay, how can I make this entire process cleaner, whatever that means? The people that I've seen that are great senior developers are people that there'll be a problem with something that's going on in the team and they'll build dev tools for it. Or they'll speak to their BA and say, look, I want to add these tickets, and they'll basically scope out their own work so they can build processes for other people in the team. Someone even started actually developing the idea of like, hey, can I build an ordering system for the canteen so I can order from my desk? I thought that was great. I thought that was lit. He only had a finite amount of time to actually work on it because there's other things that the department needed to do. But it's thinking outside the box. How can I automate and improve things, not even necessarily just department-wide, company-wide? That last point is a little bit abstract and it's kind of harder to come up with concrete examples because it really is dependent on where it is you're working. But just think, don't limit yourself to the code. It's like, how can I improve any part of this? Look specifically for constraints and bottlenecks. A really cool book to check out is The Phoenix Project. It's a little bit expensive on Amazon, but well worth the money. That completely changed and opened my eyes to thinking of development as a system you put work through as opposed to just something you do. Trust me, if you're not sure what I mean on this last point, read this book. It will change what you think. So like I said, there is the tried and proven method. You can just take your time, take about 6 years from junior, but every 2 years, if you do go to a place with a more senior role, you will become a senior in the end. If you want to speed it up or you just want to guarantee that you're on track, these are the things you should really be looking out for. This is just my experience, but I do hope it was useful for someone out there. If you know someone who's trying to upgrade themselves in their career currently, please send them this video so they can make a more informed decision. Thanks, guys.